Showtime.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to JTraedz TV, where we discuss all stock-related contents and much more. Guys, you already know what time it is. Let's go ahead and get geared up, see what the market has to offer us for next week, guys, and let's get ready to rock and roll. As it looks like we're still on a decline at this time, and we'll see where we go from here. Let's go ahead, guys, and dive right into our news to get the ball rolling, and let's see. Dow falls 450 points. Post work week in nearly a year as oil tops $90, job data disappoints. Stock fell Friday, adding to their weekly declines as oil prices spiked and traders reacted to an unexpected drop in the new U.S. jobs data. Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 453 points, or 0.95%, to end at 47,500. It was the down close to 950 points, or almost 2%, and it was low of the day. The S&P 500 fell 1.33% and settled at 6,800. Nasdaq Composite dropped 59% and closed at 22,400. The two had shed 1.7% and 1.9% respectively to their naders. So let's go ahead, guys, and let's go into our recaps that we did have from Friday. Friday's recap on the spot. We did have an open at around 673.41. We had a high of 676.11, a low of 669.76, a close of 672.38, and a volume of 100.4 million. As far as our economic goes, guys, economic, make sure I got mine on my side. We don't have really anything major coming out Monday. Tuesday, that'll be the March 10th. 10 o'clock, we're going to be having existing home sales. Wednesday, we do have a high alert that's going to be aiming towards the CPI data. That's going to be at 8:30, followed by crude oil inventories at 10:30. And at 1 o'clock, we'll be having a 10-year note auction. That'll be Wednesday, guys. Thursday, March 12th, we'll have the usual initial jobless claims. 1 o'clock, we'll be having the 30-year bond auction. And last but not least, here we go with another Friday the 13th. That's crazy. How many Friday the 13th we had in a row? That's what, 2 Friday the 13th? We had one in February, but now we have one in March. That's insane. 8:30, we got the GDP. We got PCE and durable goods order. That's all at 8:30. And last but not least, guys, 10 o'clock, we'll be having the JOLTS job openings as well. That should be in our earnings. We do have earnings. Not anything major that stands out to me as far as earnings. I mean, just a few retail companies. Guys, if you are interested or if you are trading these type of companies, I'm gonna just talk. I'll just list the tops. We do have ZM before the market open. That's tomorrow. CASY. That's gonna be after the market close. That's Monday. Tuesday we're gonna be having NIO. That's gonna be before the market opens. ORCL. I might look into that one too because ORCL likes to make some moves. That's kind of like around what other stock is that? CRCL. So I'm gonna definitely take a look at ORCL to see if we get some volatility on that. That's gonna be Tuesday after the market close. We do have SERV. That's gonna be SERV. That's gonna be before the market opens. Followed by PATH. PATH. That's gonna be after the market close, and then DIX before the market opens Thursday. Adobe, that's going to be after the market close. And last but not least, EVEX, that'll be Friday. So, like I said, nothing really major that stands out to me as far as the earnings goes. But if you guys are interested in these particular stocks or you do trade these stocks, I did post it out on Patreon. I posted out in Discord if these are the particular stocks that you guys are aiming for. All right, other than that, guys, let's go ahead and dive right into our charts and let's see what how we're going to be setting up going into next week. We did speak Friday. Remember, guys, I warned everybody about an possible inverted cup and handle that could have been forming, and there we have it. From Thursday's movement going into Friday's movement, guys, how we got rejected at that 683.09 level, down underneath that 676. Remember Friday, guys, I told you when I was leaving my live stream what price point in particular that I told you guys to keep your eyes peeled on no matter what. Whether it was a breakout or rejection, you kept your eyes peeled on what particular price point. That was 676. So we finally got the 676 pull towards the end of the market. Finally got that pull back down towards the 672s, almost down towards the 670s. Thus, almost giving you like this little handle pattern. Now, how are we going to be setting up going into next week? We're going to look at SPY and we're going to also look at VIX. So let's go into the 1 hour time. Oh, and before then, let me go into the weekly. Because remember, guys, how many times I kept bringing this up about that red trend line on my weekly? How many times we kept talking about this, guys? That if we could not break, be expecting a pullback or expecting a reversal in due time. Look every single week. We could never stay above that trend line over and over. Crossing from 2025 into 2026. Here we go again, guys. Remember, the last time we saw that trend line was in 2021. 2022 when we had that bearish market that was right here. As we crossed over from 2021 into 2022, we got that nice pullback. We had that bearish market into 2022 until we finally caught, we wound up catching the bottom. That was around the 360s, 350s. Wind up U-shaping our way on back on up slowly at the end of 2022, going into 2023, which created a what? A cup and handle pattern. Then we wound up breaking above what price point? That 480, which took us out in between the end of 2021 and 2022. Then we wound up getting that spike towards the upside into 2024. And we got that nice steady pullback where? 2025, back down to what price? 480. So even though you broke out of 480, you still came back down to test 480. So the only thing that was concerning to me, or what I kept alerting you guys on, was that this was the new breakout area, which is around the 613. I said we went up, but we never came back down to retest that 613, kind of like we did back here when we finally broke out of 480, and then in due time finally got that pull back down to what? 480. So if you notice, we found our way back to that old breakout zone, but with the new breakout area, which is around 613, ever since we broke out, we've been going up. But we never came back down to retest it now on the upside for a potential strong bouncing opportunity. So, do we still have room to possibly fall? Yes. I mean, especially dealing with the air strikes and all of these, these things that's taking place. We still haven't got no clear word about the rate cuts before Jerome Powell leaves office. So, I mean, everything right now is still pointing in somewhat bearish. So, we already cracked underneath, and this is the weekly candle, guys. We already closed underneath 680. We already closed underneath 680 on the weekly standpoint. So that means as we go into next week, Monday through Friday, we're going to be battling into down to 670s. So instead of giving that push up and aiming towards the upside, we have now started to slowly transition back down towards the downside. Now, the strongest key area as we do turn back down to the downside was where? That 650 level, what we call that strong 650 bounce, and ran our way back up towards the 680s and 690s. So notice what it's doing right now. It's starting to slowly turn back on down. Remember, this is a weekly candle. So that's Monday through Friday. So right here, throughout the week, you had a bearish week. We had a bearish week that just passed. So now, as we go into next week, Monday through Friday, look like we're going to be opening downward instead of upward. And look like we'll be remaining underneath that 680. And you already, every whole number act as a what? Natural support and a natural resistance. Now being back underneath 680, we know once we even do push back to the upside, we know that that's going to be in the way. We know that's going to be a strong brick wall. Not just that, what's going to be another strong brick wall? 676. Remember, Friday was the area that we needed to break out to keep us above 676 and between 680, being in that range. But if you remember, we couldn't break 676. We wound up falling all the way back down. So we'll take a look into the 1 hour time frame as well to take a closer look. And as you notice, let me go. That's Tesla. Sorry about that. We will go over Tesla though. Let me go in the SPY. So I kind of took some time to color code it, from the supply zone We have that little mid area, and then we have this possible demand zone if those buys can step in. But we do have room to possibly fall back down to the downside, even underneath that 670, if those bears do come in aggressive next week, where you will fall underneath that 670 area down towards the 675, 674. Now, why this level, Jay? If we go back a little bit, right back in the past, you can tell right here, at one point, like I said, as long as you stayed above 670, that was support as buyers utilized that price point and ran back to the upside. But notice where we at right now. Let's go back to it a little bit. Go back. Right now we're testing it. So it all depends. Could we see a gap down starting to next week? Or could those buyers hold above that 670 and slowly start to pick their way back on up? But keep in mind, as we do pick our way back on up, what's right in front of us? We have that 676 that we cannot break out. That's going to be another brick wall. Because at one point, 676 was a strong support where buyers utilized this price point to push their way back up to the upside. And they done it multiple times. You can see right here, 676, bounce. 676, bounce. 676, bounce. 676, bounce. But now keep in mind, we're no longer on top, utilizing it for support. Now we're underneath it, which could now benefit the bears, because now instead of setting up bear traps, now the bears can actually be setting up bull traps. So as you run back on up to a 676, you could be setting up for a bull trap, and getting reversed right back on down. Like I said, Friday, look how many times those buyers tried to attempt to get back above 676. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5, damn near 6 times, and finally got that pull back down towards the downside, towards the 670s. So right now, so far of what we see right in front of us, guys, that look like we're still toppling on down. Look like we're still cupping. So inverted in an inverted sense. So it does have still has an inverted cup-like pattern. And again, watch that 670 level. It's up to buyers to hold. We need to stay above 670 to start to get that push back up to the upside. However, if those bears do come in aggressive, starting off at the beginning of the week, we could be falling underneath the 670s, back down into the 68s, down into the 66, down to even now down as low as the 64s. So if we go back a little bit, why this level, Jay? If we go back just a little bit, trust me, I was doing some research. So you can clearly see right here, right around this 64.50 level, how that 64.50 level acted as resistance at one point when you were underneath it. You can also see how it acted as support at one point when you were above it. So you can see how that price point alone can act like a pivotal point. So you can see how it acts as support and then also acts as resistance. So keep that in mind, that again, if we do crack below that 670, if we do so happen to gap down going into next week, that we could have areas that we could fall down as low as 666 down towards the 664s. So just keep that in mind. You can see right here, guys. So we can fall as low as that if those buyers continuously keep pulling back. So we're going to definitely keep everything on watch going into next week. Definitely keep everything on watch. We do have CPI data, we have GDP, we have durable goods, and so forth. Monday, we're not going to have anything major, but we're going to keep our eyes peeled on the volatility going into next week to see if we're going to proceed down underneath the 670s, or to see if the buyers can actually hold above 670 and slowly start to move their way back up towards the upside. So we'll definitely keep that on watch. And also, let's take a look at VIX. I was also kind of calculating and looking at that as well, trying to see how high VIX will continuously keep pushing. Because you got to keep in mind, guys, VIX does the opposite of what SPY does. So if VIX goes up, SPY goes down. So right now you have you have VIX on this bullish momentum right now. So as long as VIX holds, SPY is gonna keep pulling. So I was trying to figure out how much higher can we push. So I was trying to get some old key levels back here. We did have that 28, 27 level that we did break above. Once we broke above that price point, we wind up creating a new high of day, which was around the 29.93, almost close towards the $30 level. So question is, as we even go into next week, even with VIX, can buyers break above the 30s, now going from the 20 brackets now into the 30 brackets, and give us that continuation push? Or could we get rejected at 30 and slowly start to move our way back down? If we get a hard rejection underneath 30, we know we have room to fall back down to where? That's going to be around that 28, 27 level. Why that level, Jay? That is that old high of day right here. Old resistance. If those buyers can hold, they will try to utilize it for a pullback bounce, almost insinuating almost like a bull flag pattern. So if we go back a little bit, maximize it right here. Even with VIX, you have somewhat of bull flag pattern already starting off as we go into next week. So as again, if those sellers block those buyers at 30, they could pull back down to try to test right around this 28-27 level. So they may try to range. And if the buyers have it, they're gonna rebound right off of this 28-27 and try to go right back up to retesting that 29.93. If you want to round it off, $30. If they get that $30 break, they're gonna try to push their way back up to the upside towards 32s, possibly up to the 34s, if they get that continuation push. So let me draw it out just a little bit. Let me draw it real quick. So again, if they let me change my color too on this damn pen. I don't need it red, I need it white. Let me change the color real quick, guys. My fault. All right, there we go. All right, so if they get this breakout, they'll try to go for the upside. They'll try to now go from being in the $20 brackets now into the $30 brackets, which we will have a continuation push. So let's just see. Like I said, the way it's setting up like in a bull flag pattern. So again, if they can't break out, I mean, they could try to maneuver their way around this area as long as they hold that 28-27 and try to go for that secondary push towards the upside and continue on down. Continue on up. I'm sorry. However, if it holds weight, if that $30 level holds weight, what we want to see, if we want to see a nice turn on SPY, we need VIX to come back down. So that means that we need to get rejected at 30, get this crack below that 28-27 level, back down towards the 27, down to 26. So we want to get a nice little flush back down this way. We want to get something like that if those sellers are going to come in hard. But again, if we do get a hard flush on VIX, you already know what that means. That means SPY is going to have a hard bounce. So definitely keep this on watch starting off tomorrow. First, we're going to see if those buyers are going to try to maintain a range in between $30 and that 28-27 level, that old high of day. Try to see if they're going to stay in this range. If they stay in this range, buyers may try to reverse their way back up to retest that 29 level, the $30 level for a possible push. But keep this on watch going into tomorrow to see if buyers can, if sellers can hold those buyers, stall them out of their $30 level. Other than that, they're going to continuously push. SPY is going to continually keep coming down. And what was the possible key levels that we can pull down on SPY? Down towards the 666, 664s, and so forth. So just keep that on watch. Because like I said, right now, VIX is bullish while SPY is bearish. Look at the difference. Let me go to it real quick. Go to SPY and look at the difference. You got one that's pretty much bearish and you have another one that's pretty much bullish, doing the opposite of one another. Keep that in mind. Remember, SPY and VIX does the opposite. Does the total opposite. See that? One goes up, the other one goes down. We crack that 670s. That's going to put us right back down in this little range here, guys. Between 668, 66, possibly all the way back down towards the 664s. We'll fall back into this little range. So keep it on watch. We'll see where we go from here. Let's see, guys. Any other stocks you guys want to go over? Any other stocks? I looked over NVIDIA for a little bit. We did fall from out of the is that the right one I had set up for this one? Yeah, so we did fall out of the 180s all the way back down towards the 178. So it looked like buyers are trying to hold, but the way that NVIDIA is giving off right now, it looks like a bear flag. They could be setting them going into tomorrow, especially if we crack underneath that 178 with room to fall down to the 176s, even all the way back down towards the 174, back down to these lows. So you do have room to fall back down towards 176 right here, these bottoms. Then secondary bottoms are going to be back all the way back down this way. So keep that on watch. But all of them are still kind of looking weak right now. So Friday did not perform really well, to hold up for the possible push back to the upside. NVIDIA didn't hold. Meta didn't hold. Look at this bear flag. All of them are still looking weak. Now keep in mind, all right, guys, what is that main price point on Meta? What's that main price point that we're coming down to? Remember what we talked about when you had numerous opportunities to buy off that one particular price point back up to the upside. What was that, guys? What was that price point? Over and over and over, that replayed itself over and over for buying opportunities back up to the upside. When you had a nice $10 to damn near $20 mover. 640. Remember, you're coming back down to where? 640. 640, watch that 640 level. If it is bearish and we crack 640, you already know that those sellers are going to be trying to aim towards the 630s down to 620s. Because remember, they like to move in somewhat of a $20 increments. So definitely keep that on watch. If they can hold 640, yes, you will have room to run your way back up towards the 650s, back up towards 660s. So just keep that on watch. But 640, that's going to be one of your main keys, one of your pivotal points. Definitely keep that on watch. As far as, let me go to the rest of them, guys. Let's see. I mean, look at this. I mean, Apple still turning back on down. We didn't fell from, I remember we was trying to fight to stay, what, it was 270s? I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this huge inverted cup and handle. Look at this monstrosity. And look at this. I mean, now turning into a downtrend setup. I mean, a lot of them are just still weak at this time. I mean, look at this. Look at Apple. I mean, we're going to have to slowly get our way back up towards the 260s and so forth, you know, to get that nice reversal to the upside. But definitely keep everything on watch, because the main thing we want to watch going into next week to see can buyers hold, you know, these floors without cracking any more floors and going down to even lower levels. So we want to see if we can find some type of support, strong support, where buyers can hold and possibly see a reversal back to the upside. Other than that, we're just going to continuously fade. I think that, anything else? We went over Meta. Amazon. What about Amazon? And look at Amazon. Look at this, guys. Look at Amazon. Look at this. Had a nice run all the way up towards the 220s. Got rejected at 220s. Then all the way back down. Because remember that area that we talked about on Amazon. Remember, we was in that, what, 210, 212, 50 level. We did get that breakout. And then look right here. Falling right back in this little range. Look right here. 210 to 212. Look like you're about to fall right back down towards that 200-day moving average, which is sitting around 210.50. So that will be giving almost like a huge, to be honest, look almost like a big head and shoulders pattern. Almost. You got a shoulder here, then a head here. And once we fall back underneath the 210, 212s, that's going to be resisted. There may be a right shoulder. So we may see more downside coming. I mean, if those buys don't stay above, especially 210, you crack 210, you're going back down to the 208s. Basically back all the way back down to these bottoms. That's going to put you all the way back down toward the 202s, 204s. Where you'll start to turn all the way back down completely. But if they can hold 210, start to slowly move their way back up towards 212 and so forth. I mean, we can definitely see a nice little U-shape off of this 200-day moving average. But you do have room to fall down to the 200-day moving average. That's going to be around 210-ish. So keep that on watch. So, I mean, if you're long buyers, just look for these possible bouncing opportunities that could be occurring. Because that will, if we do get any more drop, I mean, that will put you in the oversold position where buyers could try to seize that opportunity to reverse. I mean, look right here. Where we came oversold, because remember, guys, based off the RSI, anytime it's in blue, it's oversold. Anytime it's in red, it's overbought. So you can see right here, last time we became oversold, what did your buyers do? Your buyers took advantage of that oversold opportunity, and look at this push back up from what price point? 202, all the way back up towards 220. So think about how powerful those oversold and overbought levels are, when you can have a way better reward versus risk. So, I mean, definitely a good opportunities coming. But we're going to see into tomorrow to see if how SPY's going to hold up. You know, we're going to stay above that 670, or will those sellers come in and try to crack the 670s back down into the 660s? Because we know where they're trying to go. Like I said, if we look at the weekly, we know that sellers are basically trying to go back to these lows right here. Sellers are trying to come back this way. Well, we had these old bounces. We're at 650. We cracked 650. What's going to be the next destination? That old breakout zone right at 613. Where we start to dump back down from this 13 EMA down to the 50 SMA. 50 SMA and so forth. So that'll bring you back down to the 60s. They cracked that, to the 30s. We want to crack in that with room to fall back down into these low key areas here. Because, I mean, everything is like just pointing down. I mean, and again, look at this weekly candle. Upper shadow. And you are pointing down. You already lost 680s. Now you just fell back into the lower 670s. So we're going to definitely keep that on watch to see if these buyers going to, you know, utilize these price points. But other than that, I mean, it's just still looking weak, guys. I'm just being honest. Because it look like what it wants to do is go for an indicated gap fill down. From the 13 EMA down to that 50 SMA. Which is going to put you back down towards the, underneath the 650s. 650s all the way, possibly all the way down to the 630s. So we'll keep it on watch, but we know we have a strong support, a possible bouncing area right around 650. So that's the main things that I see so far. So we'll be keeping everything on watch, guys. If anything else that we need to go over, guys, anything else that you guys want to bring up, please let me know. The floor is yours, guys. The floor is yours. If y'all want to go over any talking point, let me make sure everything is working. Let me do a test to make sure. All right, got a test. I was just double checking to make sure everything is working as far as the chat boxes, because I just want to hear you guys thought processes. I'm gonna check. Let me do a test run on Twitch. All right, so everything's working, guys. So let me know. Like I said, if y'all have any thought process or any stocks you want to go over, I don't care if it's ETFs, penny stocks, whatever the case may be. If you want to go over any stocks right now is the time, because I mean I'm only gonna be on here for a short period of time, because I just wanted to go over a quick little breakdown. Other than that, I mean, we'll be rocking and rolling, getting ready for tomorrow's setups. Like I said, so far from what I'm seeing, based off of how last week has performed, we're pretty much making an inverted cup. If you think about it, we're making an inverted cup. I mean, from Monday's setup, from Tuesdays. I mean, Tuesday started right here. We bounced all the way into Wednesday. We couldn't break back above these highs on Thursdays. Then we started to create lower high builds going into Fridays, thus creating somewhat of a inverted cup, downtrend setup. Everything's still pointing bearish. So right now it's still showing weakness. I mean, it looks like we're still tumbling over even as we go into next week. So right now we are already underneath 672s. So from underneath 672s, let's see if we do get that pullback down to the 670. Let's see if buyers can maintain 670s and try to reverse their way back on up. But as we reverse our way back on up, we already know that main area that we need to re-break is what? 676. We know we need to re-break that price point. That's going to hold up as a huge brick wall. That's going to hold up as a problem for the buyers until we get that break back above that price point. So other than that, I mean, it's going to be in this. You can kind of clearly see the range already. You can see the 670 bottoms holding, and you can see the 676 tops holding. You can kind of see the range that we are already in at this moment. So keep that on watch. Definitely keep that on watch. Again, if those sellers do successfully crack the 670s, that's going to put us right back down to the 660s, where we'll be cracking down to the 678s. 668s, 666s, down towards the 664s and so forth, back down to these low areas. Let me, I don't know if you can see it on this. I had to go back to my 1 hour real quick. Back down to these lows here. Right about, let me go to it, shrink it up. Right about towards that 664, and why that level? We go back a little bit. Like I said, look how this area right here, look how that area acted as support and resistance at the same time. Right here. See that? Right here. Right here, guys. When you were underneath that price point, benefited the bears. When you were above that price point, benefited the bulls. Notice that. Underneath, pullback. Above, bounce. Right here at 664.50. What's up, my beautiful queen? Hope you having a blessed one too, queen. Oh man, my little girl. Also, you gotta see baby girl. That little girl's growing up too. Oh my God, it's ridiculous, queen. It's ridiculous. She's growing up too fast, too fast, queen. So yeah, the only thing that we're talking about right now, also, was just for everybody to be prepared that we could still see some possible more downside if buyers let go of that 670. Everybody, let me shrink it up just a little bit. So right about here. So again, right here, we're coming down right to this level here, queen. So we're gonna see on how we're gonna open up. I mean, we may get some type of activity, because normally we see a little bit of activity, like a little bit after 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You'll see a little bit of something. We may see a little bit of volatility later on today, or we may just start, tomorrow. But we'll see. So the question is, will we see a gap down underneath the 670s back down into the 660s? Or will we see buyers holding it above 670s and start to slowly reverse our way back on up? But as I was mentioning, Aussie, once we do go back on up, we have a huge resistance that we need to take care of, which is the 676. You was my witness. You was with me on Friday. Even as I was getting off my live stream, what was that price point? I said to keep on watch at all times. Right there. 676, 676, 676, 676. Even if you go to the 5-minute time frame, you clearly see it right across the board. Right here. Right across the board. 676, 676, 676. Huge brick wall. Sellers are not allowing the buyers to break above that price point. Buyers are not allowing the sellers to crack below this price point, which is keeping us in a range of 676 and 670s. Yeah, exactly, queen. 676 on how crucial that level is going to be. Right now, being underneath it, because as I was saying, at one point, that level was a powerful support line. But now, being underneath it, now bears can use it for resistance. So if you notice, every time it came down to 676, buyers took the opportunity, bounced. You can see it. You can see it every time we hit 676, bounce. 676, bounce. Go over this way. 676, bounce. 676, bounce. Now being underneath it, now the trap has reversed. So instead of being support, now this bad boy is going to be resistance. So until we get back above 676, now we have to focus on the prices below us. As we do pull down, where's going to be another strong key level where buyers can try to come in and intervene to stop those sellers from continuously pulling us on down to the downside. After doing a little bit of research, the only other area coming up, before we do go back down to the 650s, is going to be around this 664.50 right here, as I was just talking before you came in, Queen, that acted as support and resistance. So right here, you can see right here, 664.50 acted as resistance at one point when you were underneath it. You can also see how it acted as support when you were above it. So if we do get that crack underneath that 670 back on down, definitely keep your eyes peeled right around the 664.50 to see if those buyers are going to try to utilize that as a liquidity grab to try to push their way back up to the upside. If they do, they'll try to push their way right back up towards that 670 level. So that's still a money-making opportunity, because at 670, if you think about it, guys, 664 to 670, guys, that's still $6 up. If you think about it, that's still, that's still better than nothing. That's still $6, still $6 profit. If we were to get a dump right off, underneath that 670s down to the 664s, and we wind up holding and reversing, you can clearly see right here, even if we get a bounce, they're going to be trying to aim back this way. It's going to pull back up like a magnet. So, again, you'll have a $6 drop down. If those buys hold around at 664, 64.50 and push, you'll have a $6 push right back to the upside. So, still a money-making opportunity. So take advantage of that. So again, what we're going to do is going into next week, we're going to keep our eyes peeled to see if those buyers are going to try to go for a liquidity grab right in this range, to see if they can trap these sellers, especially right back down towards the 664.50s, and try to reverse it back up towards the 670s. So that's what we're going to definitely keep our eyes peeled on. So this is what we want to see, guys. I'm going to draw it out, and I'm going to soon be going. Also, if you want to go over any charts, Queen, please let me know. We'll discuss it. So going into next week, guys, if we crack that 670s, we want to see if buyers can maintain the 664, 64.50 right back to the upside towards 670 for this nice reversal. If they do come in strong and break back above 670, you already know they'll try to go back to where? 676. Remember, that bad boy can act like what? A magnet, because we have seen 676 play out over and over and over and over and over again. So remember, we see it play out on the upside of it. Now we may see it play out on the downside of it, meaning that once we get that nice bounce back to the upside, it's going to pull back to what price point like a magnet? 676. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to break out it automatically, but if that holds, it could be another put opportunity. So you could just wait for buyers to run right into this brick wall, go for a put opportunity for that move right back on down. So again, guys, the market is psychological. Again, it's 90% psychology, 10% strategy. So they're going to go to a psychological price point, whether it's up or whether it's down. All the market does is, guys, we talk about this time and time again, is rotate. The market just goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, but it goes to a specific price point, where once those price points are met, then we wind up transitioning. So keep that in mind. So this is what I'm thinking. If we so happen to open up tomorrow to a gap, a gap down, then we'll fall right back underneath the 670s, down into the 660s. Probably, like I said, as low as, I want to say around that 664.50, but we know it's not going to go all, straight down to it. We know that we're going to possibly maybe slowly climb down to that price point, 668, 666, down to the 665, 664 level. Let's just see if buyers can try to hold like a little, level or floor, try to stall those sellers out of their positions and try to maneuver their way right back on up. So kind of like pullback failure, pullback failure, pullback failure, where you get lower shadow, lower shadow, lower shadow, but then buyers step back in. Kind of like we got right here at 670 itself, 671, where we pull back down and you wind up doing a what? Red to green move. Buyer stepped in and wind up reversing that play. But the way that everything's setting up so far, it looked like continuation red candles could occur, from post-market into pre-market, where we'll get red candle, but we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled at 670 to see if buyers can first hold, if they're not going to allow those sellers to crack through and fall back down into the 660s. So we're going to definitely keep our eyes peeled to see what's going to happen at the 670 level. If the sellers so happen to successfully crack the 670s, you already know you're going to be falling back down into the 660s. So we already know what the sellers are aiming for. They're aiming to go back down. They're aiming to go towards that, as close towards that 650 level as possible. Why 650, Jay? You go back to your weekly time frame. Remember, that was that area where we had that strong bounce. And keep in mind, you already are underneath the 13 EMA at this time. So you're no longer holding up on top of that indicator where we held before. Where every time you came down to the 13 EMA, bounce, 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 bounce. But now look what's happening. Now we are underneath the 13 EMA with the 50 SMA all the way down as low as 640s. So imagine an indicated gap fill from the 13 EMA down towards that 50 SMA. So that means that you will have room if those sellers do take advantage of it. You do have room to fall down towards the 660s, from the 660s down to the strong area where we had this strong bounce down until where? The 650s, which will draw you closer and closer towards that 50 SMA. So keep that in mind, because we're no longer on top of the 13 EMA, so we're no longer bullish at this time. Right now, we're somewhat bearish. Because again, what was holding us up before? The 13 EMA, 13 EMA, 13 EMA, 13 EMA. If y'all notice, we kept going up. As long as that 13 EMA kept holding, we kept pushing up. But notice now what happened. We cracked the 13 EMA, now coming back down this way. Don't that represent bearishness? So could we see that, could we see some more downside coming? It's a possibility. So keep your eyes peeled. We may continue going into next week. It could get worse, where we'll get a strong pull out of the 670s now into the 660s. So, I mean, but look the way we're setting up right now. They're starting to cup invertedly. This is an inverted cup. Look at this. We're definitely cupping. What's up, Super? What's up, Lucky? My guy, my money maker, man. Also, let me show y'all some love, man. Thank y'all so much for coming through, too. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. Salute to my team, man. Salute to my goats and my goatess. So, yeah. But, Lucky, remember we've been talking about this, Luck. Remember we've been talking about this. You remember how... Look, you was my witness. Also, you was my witness. How long have I been talking about that trend line? How long have I been talking about that trend line comparing 2025, 2026 to 2021, 2022, where we wind up running to that trend line and we had a bearish market the next year over. From 2021, 2022, trend line rejection, and we wind up getting that nice pullback or that bearish market, throughout that year. Look where we at right now. 2025, 2026, hitting that same exact trend line, still unable to break out. Remember, these are weekly time frames. So over and over and over and over and over again, repeatedly, we can never get above that trend line. So it look like we're seeing deja vu from 2021 and 2022. So, and then again, we're already underneath the 13 EMA already. That's bad. So we don't have that to hold us up at this moment, because now you crack the 13 EMA, we're running to fall possibly down towards the 50 SMA. So we could see a gap fill, indicated gap fill down instead of up at this moment. Well, we do look like we do have more downside at this time than upside. So, I mean, look at the way this candle ended up, guys. Again, this is a weekly candle. That's Monday through Friday of last week. Well, this week that just passed. And look at this. We are pointing down, guys, as next week is coming up, as next week is approaching. So, question is, could we see a gap down? Could we see consecutive red candles from this point on? We already got one, followed by two, which was this week that just passed, added on to a second red candle. So now, could we see a third red candle? Could we see a third red candle that could lead to more pullback down as low as the 660s? So we got to keep that in mind. We already got one. We already got two. So question is, could this week coming up be a third red candle? In other words, seeing more downside, falling underneath the 670s, down into the 660s, damn near down into the 650s. That'll be a third red candle off the weekly. Again, we already got one. We already got two. As this week is approaching, could we see a third red candle? So that means that we need to fall underneath this week's setup that just passed. So this week's, what was this week's lows? 669, 66. We're already pointing down that way. So that means that those sellers are trying to crack those buyers right into the 660s. So let me take a quick look on the 5-minute time frame. So 5-minute time frame, they're trying right here, 69, 66, right here. They're trying to desperately hold that level. See that? That's that floor. If the buyers can stay above that floor, And I mean, you can see right here, psychologically, when we opened up in pre-market, we fell down, down, down right here. What did those buys come in at? 69, 669, 66. Got that bounce right back on up. However, if those sellers overpower those buyers and crack that support, you already know it's going to turn into resistance. And what's that's going to lead to? More downside to come. 668s, 666, down into the 664s. If you notice, we'll be slowly getting kicked out of we already got kicked out of the 90s. We already got kicked out of the 80s. Now we're slowly getting kicked out of the 670s. If you notice, we're just slowly losing value every single time. It's just still pointing weak. I mean, you got VIX going on a hell of a run right now. VIX is on a bullish movement. We go to VIX real quick. Look what VIX is doing. Look at this. VIX is going on a monster bullish rally right now. Question is, will we get a gap up above that 30, or will we get rejected at a 30 and pull back? We'll definitely keep our eyes peeled, because if those buyers succeed and get into the 30s, now we will be creating a new high of day on VIX. Now, instead of being in the 20s, now we're being in the 30s. Now we're creating some new all-time highs now. So, and that bad boy is still erupting. That bad boy is still going. But now we know that we'll definitely keep that $30 level on watch, because remember, every whole number acts as natural support and natural resistance, especially coming out of one bracket to the next. You're going from the 20s now into the 30s. So we know we're going to have a little bit of interruptions right around the 30s. We know we're going to have sellers trying to block 30s. But if you have enough buyers, they could break through it and create a new high of day. That means if VIX creates a new high of day, SPY is going to create new low of days. So definitely keep that on watch. I mean, look at the strength on VIX right now. Strength on VIX, they wind up holding, came down as low as 21, wind up reversing 21, pushing their way back up to 23, up to 26, 29, almost back to $30. I mean, look at this bearish move still. I mean, VIX looks very, bullish. I'm sorry. VIX looks very bullish. So that means if VIX is bullish, SPY is bearish. So, it's the only thing I can say. Keep everything on watch, guys, because we may see some continuation selling off coming. It's a possibility. We could see some continuation. So just keep your eyes peeled. We already know one of our main resistance is going to be 676. We know that for sure. But we nowhere near that just yet. So we're coming right back down towards the 670, 669, 66 to see if those buys can hold. But if they crack, more downside is coming, guys. So gear up. So other than that, man, guys, any other stocks, any other ETFs, anything else you want to go over, guys, before your boy head on out? So again, the floor is yours. Other than that, man, guys, I do appreciate you guys for coming through. I will be doing some more research tonight to see on how we can properly prepare ourselves even more for Monday through Friday of next week, and see where we go from here. Because right now, I mean, again, due to all the with the airstrike, the wars with the U.S. and Iran, and all this negative, I mean, it's just so much negative press right now, man. It's like people are running like crazy. I mean, think about it, guys. We was almost there at 700s. Look where we at right now. Now we're at 670s. So far we didn't went on a $30 drop. We was already close to 700s. Now we're already down towards the low 670s. That's a $30 drop. So far we done fell $30 so far. Think about it. $30 fall. And if we crack the 670s down into the 660s, that's a $40 drop. We cracked the 660s down to the 650s. That is a $50 drop. Thanks, Jay. Just busy clipping my Persian cat. Nah, no problem at all. Aussie, take your time. So, but right now, like I said, Aussie and Lucky, I do expect a little bit more pullback to occur. I do feel that, yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because it seemed like VIX is definitely on a bullish run right now. VIX is on a bullish run, while SPY is on a bearish run. I mean, VIX has a lot of strength. I mean, look how I marked it off, Lucky. I mean, look how I tried to track everything down to see how much further can VIX go. I mean, I even marked off the high of days to see if they was gonna, we was gonna get some type of rejection right around the 28, 27, but they broke right through it. I mean, we go this way now in the present. Look at this. They got rejected at 28, 27. They came on down towards 21, wound up rebounding, U-shaping their way back on up, breaking through that 28, 27, now creating a new high of day. Now, the only difference is with VIX has somewhat of a bull flag pattern set up. So, I mean, it could give us continuation going into next week. Even if they do get a pullback down towards 28, if those buyers can hold that 28, 27 and rebound, they're going to try to re-break through 30 and create new high of days. All while SPY's creating downside. So if let me see something too. Let me also see, because if we got a bull flag pattern on VIX, we should see a bear flag pattern. I mean, you got it's still bearish, but what was VIX on the last drop? That was, I think, 21. Let me double check real quick. Look, I got you, boss. Let me double check. I'm going right back to it. Right here, right where that 200-day moving average was at, that was around $21. Yeah, right here toward these bottoms. It was right around 21. Let me see. Almost 21.50 to 21 when we came on down. We fell underneath that 28.27. That was Tuesday, going into Wednesday, and then Wednesday wound up bottoming out, going into Thursday, right back above 21, and then we got that nice U shape back towards the upside. So that right here where we held was like around $20.50 to $21. So they wind up holding that level and U shaping its way back up. Because we were supposed to crack 21 when we fall back down to the 19s, 18s, we start to reverse, but they wind up holding that, especially off that 200-day moving average. They wind up bouncing off of that. They wind up bouncing off of that bad boy. So that $21-ish level held. They say it saved them and got them right back on up. I mean, that was a hell of a bounce, though. I mean, to be honest, I mean, from $21 damn near back up to 30, that was like a $9 push back to the upside. So yeah, I mean. VIX is definitely bullish. VIX is definitely on the roll. I'm not saying, guys, we're going to keep going up. It's going to get to a point where it's going to get overbought and we will see a pullback eventually. We getting there. We haven't got overbought like we got like before. Right now, it looks like it still got a little bit of room to still push before it goes into that overbought range. So we may see a little bit more push and then a pullback coming. So just keep it on watch, though. So the question is, if they do continuously push, where's gonna be that high day? Monday, starting off, because you gotta remember, guys, Monday sets the tone, Friday sets the standard. So we gotta figure out what's Monday's movement gonna be on VIX. Could we create a new high day on Monday where that's gonna set the, tone? And then again, remember I told you guys, Friday sets the standard. So the way VIX is giving off, though, it does give off somewhat of a bull flag. Could I see a little bit of pullback underneath the 30? Yeah. Back down towards that 28, 27 level. But like I said, if they can maintain that range, stay within that range without falling, losing 28, they could reverse that rate right back on up towards 30 and go for a U-shaped breakout. So it's a possibility. Because they do have a bull flag pattern right in front of us. I mean, they do. So the question is, the buyer's going to have to hold 28 for sure. Hold that 28 level in reverse. And that means if we go for a new high day on VIX, you already know what that means on SPY. New lows. New lows. And that's what that means. Now, if VIX so happen to crack 28, yeah, we'll fall back down towards the 26s, down to the 24s, back down to, to the, because what was that level? It was around 20, 20, oh yeah, 23.10 was that old breakout too. So, I mean, if there was to go for a hard pullback, I mean, I do see room to fall back down towards 23.10. But right now, as of now, they're holding up. So the only way for us to get excited about that is once we start to crack underneath 28, down towards the 26, 24s, we start to reverse on down. We kind of start to cup. So the only way I can see through this, set up for it, I mean, because I don't want to speak ahead of time, too ahead of time. I'll put it like this. Kind of like we did on SPY, we'll have to do the same exact thing on VIX. In other words, we'll have to set up for an inverted cup and handle pattern. So this will be the left side of that cup. So that means the left side normally runs up. It'll run up. But then you'll run into a strong resistance where you'll start to kind of top out, and then you'll reverse back on down. And I'll show you an example because SPY done it. SPY done the same exact thing. So watch. Tell me I'm lying. Kind of right. I could have sworn I saw another bigger setup than that. How you ran up on the left side, you got rejected, then you start to do what? Tumble back on down. But I think it was, I'm trying to figure out, I had another chart set up though that showed a bigger. I mean, well, you can kind of use this one for example. This setup. So you see how it ran up, right? The left side, and then you wind up starting to top out up here. We couldn't break out. We kind of stayed in a stable position, but then we wind up turning back on down. So you can see right here. I mean, look at this cup and handle, inverted. Look at this. So you see how you had room to run up up. And you can see right here off my RSI, you got what? Overextended. Overbought. Got overbought, right? Overbought, and then you wind up getting that nice sell off to the downside, thus giving you what? That inverted cup. So, we kind of got to see the same thing play out on VIX. So, I'm like I said, I want to set it up ahead of time, like kind of prepare you guys, because I know a lot of y'all are long buys, is what I'm trying to say. So, I would say especially if we want to see a strong U-shaped pattern on SPY, I would say let this side play out. You know, let the sellers take it out. Let me play it out. We want to, because all it is in reverse. It's like in reverse. So we want to see red this way, down. We want to see them hit a level that they can't break, where they're going to get stalled out, and then we start to get a reversal back up, giving us a what? U-shaped pattern. You'll go from sellers, right, to buyers. So let's see a successful U-shape somewhere. I mean, you got this one, but it's a little bit sharp. Kind of did a red to green on that one. See how it dumped on off? Then you wind up getting a nice bottom. You pull to a psychological level. Then you wind up going right back to the upside. I mean, this would have been a good entry. I mean, think about it. If you would have noticed that psychological level getting in for that transition, red to green, from 670s all the way back up. I mean, look at that. 670s, 80s, to the 90s. That's damn near a $20 push. Imagine you getting in at these bottoms and playing that. Not just once. Twice. You had another bounce in that area, didn't you? Where is it at? Right here. Another bounce. Same area. 670s. Pushed up to where? That was $10. So, I mean, but you see, guys, the psychological levels. How you can just, man, set yourself up in a better fashion. Instead of getting caught up in choppiness, not knowing where it's going. Because you got to think about it. Especially with SPY, the way it sets up sometimes, it has to take a few days to give you a unique pattern, right? So it may take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to give you a unique pattern where it's like, okay, we're getting oversold. Nah, we may finally pull back, but then you're U-shaping your way back on up. But if you notice, once you put all your days together, it makes one complete pattern altogether. So what I'm saying is, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So understand the setup, how it's preparing itself, because it may go from one day to the next. Like I said, this was Friday's bottoms, right? Fridays going into Mondays, it created a what? Uptrend. And then from Monday into Tuesday, created a what? Uptrend. Then you wind up running to Wednesday, you hit these highs, got a nice little pullback, rebounded off the 200-day moving average. Between Wednesday and Thursday, you started to prepare for what? U-shaped pattern going into Friday, which pushed you all the way up towards 696. But you notice it all makes a pattern all together. So you can't just focus on one day. I mean, unless you scalp it. I mean, you can trade on an intraday basis, you know, scalping. But if you're looking for like a long-term play, just put the pieces of the puzzle together and see the whole entire pattern. Excuse me, on how the pattern is setting up overall. So it's going to take a few days. It's going to take more than one day. That's what I'm saying. I mean, think about this. Look at all of this. It took more than one day for this to form an entire inverted cup, because it took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday you started to, going into Thursday you started to top, then you double top, and going into Thursday, and Friday was the right side of that cup. So you notice how it took almost an entire week to make a pattern. It took from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is where the top started to occur between Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday wind up sealing the deal, confirming that top was going to hold, creating a what? Double top. Then you dumped off on Thursday, and then you made a lower high from Thursday into Friday, thus giving you what? An inverted cup. So, but yeah, just take your time to understand the patterns, man. Because like I said, it's not going to make a pattern in one damn day. It's not. Just going to be honest with you. It takes all, you know, the days together, you know, to give you one full solid pattern. I mean, think about it. Look right here. This was what? Tuesday into Wednesday. You had an uptrend. You started to top out. And if y'all notice, it always top out between Wednesdays, Thursdays. Y'all notice that? Every time we get to Wednesday, Thursday is when you start to see the transition. Especially if you're on a downtrend. I mean, watch. Think about it. Let me go back. Think about it. Look right here. Where's it at? Look right here, Lucky. Wednesday, Thursday, top out. Well, let me see. What another one at? It always does that, like around Wednesday, Thursday. Look, another one. Wednesday, Thursday, Top out, reverse. Find another one. Wednesday, then you start to pull back. This one created like a little U-shaped pattern, but Wednesday you got a nice little pullback. So it seemed like it's always Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You always, depending on the direction of the market, you're gonna either transition up, or if it's bearish, you're gonna transition down. But in due time, a reversal will be taking place. But let it get to its destination and then get ready for it. So that's where your 1 hour time frame comes in at, guys, because you got to go back. This is right here's the present. You got to go back into the past and understand the psychological levels. Man, where are levels where buyers can come in at? I just brought it. Let me go to it real quick, boss. I know we got. Let me go to the economics real quick. Let me go to it to PowerPoint real fast. PowerPoint. All right, let me take off the earnings real quick and go right into earnings for next week. Let me bring up my where's my because I can't see it because it's so bunched up. All right, for next week, we're gonna have CPI data. That's gonna be Wednesday, March 11th. That's gonna be a crucial one. Of course, initial jobless claims Thursday is always Thursdays if a holiday is not involved. March 12th, and we're gonna have a lot of them. Friday, 8:30, we're gonna have GDP, PCE data, durable goods. That's all gonna be at 8:30, and at 10 o'clock we're gonna be having the Georgia job openings at 10 o'clock. Tuesday we're gonna have existing home sales, but CPI data is gonna be Wednesday, March 11th for sure. No major earnings, so nothing to worry about on that end. Let me also double check. Matter of fact, when is gonna be the next FOMC meeting? Let me go to my when's the next FOMC meeting coming up? Should be around the time when the new whatchamacallit steps up, right? God dang it, I'm trying to go to it real quick. I'm catching my brain is kind of hold up, guys. I'm trying to go to my my little thing with tilt. Oh shit, we do have one coming up soon. Got about 9 days. Let me see. When is it? When is the next FOMC meeting? That's going to be when? Hold up. Next FOMC meeting is going to be... God dang it. I'm trying to stretch this chart out. Oh, here we go. Probabilities. That is going to be marked on the 18th. So that is... Go to my chart. Go to my next... Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. FOMC meeting. FOMC meeting, Lucky. Not this Wednesday coming, but the Wednesday after, on the 18th, we have another FOMC meeting coming up, guys. Because you can see it right here. 9 days, 20 hours, 18 minutes, and 40 seconds. So, we got another one coming up real soon. So, not this week, but next. Mark that down, guys. And I'm going to remind y'all anyway. So, it's going to be the 18th of March. Going to be the next FOMC meeting. So, that's going to be the day. Especially, we were supposed to, what was that had came out? We was waiting on that. That was the, I think it was the beige book. The beige book, we was waiting to see if they was going to say anything about the rate cuts. If Jerome Powell was going to make any rate cuts before he leaves office, but it was no change. So, they may mention it at this FOMC meeting coming up next week. It may be mentioned. Well, they should mention it, of course. But, yeah, so with that being said, Lucky, I wonder if they know something that we don't know. In other words, I wonder if they're gonna pull back this week, like gear up, and almost set themselves up like a slingshot movement going into the week after. When the FOMC. Matter of fact, and normally the FOMC. Hold up. Let me also, do we got any other earnings? I want to go have some, because normally around FOMC meeting, you normally have some type of earnings coming out too. Let me double check that. If we're going to have any big earnings coming out. That's another thing I need to check. Where's my earnings? Right around the 18th. That we're going to have a big blue chip earning coming out. Where's my earnings list at? I got so many bookmarks, guys. My bad. I'm trying to go to where my earnings list is at. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Where the hell is my earnings list? Cause I'm pretty sure, cause they normally always like to put earnings right around the FOMC meeting. Like they always, for some reason they do that. So that's why I'm trying to go to my earnings. I mean, let me go to my bookmark thing. God dang, it's driving me crazy. And go to my big list just to see if we see any particular earnings that may be coming out right. The reason why I'm doing that, guys, to see if that's gonna add more hype to the market. Because I wonder if this week is going to be like a bearish.
Thanks for tuning in JTraedz TV.
My bad, guys. I pressed the button on accident. My bad, guys. I pressed the wrong key. My fault. my fault. But yeah, let me go into earnings and see. Earnings. Where's my earnings list? Look here, man. I'm trying to type. I'm trying to get everything done. I'll do that. All right, let me see. Earnings list. Is this the right one? Yeah, because I'm trying to see if they're going to have any major, I'm trying to go through it right now to see. For the 18th. All right, large caps. Anything? I might have to type in them individually. Let me see. I don't see nothing coming up on it. And again, I'm just double checking that to see if that's going to add more hype. I'm trying to go where it's under my damn where's my earnings list at for my Yahoo? I know I got it in here somewhere. I used to have it saved. I'm trying to go through it. Yeah, if I can find it real quick, guys. I'm just trying to find my earnings thing on my Yahoo Finance. Cause I got so many bookmarks, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I mean, hey, gotta keep up with everything. I don't even see it on my bookmarks. Yeah, I don't see anything right now, guys. If I do see anything, I'll let you guys know, man. I could have sworn I had to say it under my Yahoo Finance. That's crazy. I had a whole list of earnings. It's crazy. Been that long and they just did away with it. I'm just saying, god dang, like I can't even find none of my earnings list. Alright, earnings calendar, is this it? Alright, I need the 18th. Wednesday, 43 earnings. Let me see. Anything blue chip wise? Alright, let me go through it real quick. I don't see nothing blue chip wise. Let me try Tuesday. Nah, I don't see anything yet. Alright, let me try the 20th. Nah, I don't see anything yet, guys. That's why I'm just double checking just to make sure, cause that'll add more hype to the market to definitely, going big, surprising moves. That'll definitely add hype to whatever stocks, So I was just trying to see if they had any earnings tied around the FOMC meeting, but I don't see anything as far as blue chip wise. I see OKLO. Yeah, I don't see anything like Nvidia, none of them. I mean, well, we did have a few of them that passed not too long ago. Yeah, if I come across anything, guys, I mean, you already know earnings whispers always updated anyway. So if that do come across, wait, is this the list right here? Wait, hold on, let me go. I think I found it, guys. Hold on, I think I found it. Yeah, aha, hold on, aha, Nvidia, May 20th. So that's one. I knew it. I see, and that's why I had to double check. Anytime the FOMC meeting is about to come out, I know they got like earnings tied around it. That's why I had to double check. I was like, normally they'll have big like blue chip company tied around it. April, nah, it's 8 to 3. I'm looking for some March. All right, what about Meta? We already got Nvidia 1. Nah, April. Tesla. April. I think the only one. Let me see. I think Nvidia was the only one for March, right? Oh, sorry, that's May. I'm sorry. I'm off, guys. That's May 20th. I'm so sorry. May 20th. I'm looking at too many damn... I do apologize. That's May, not March. I was jumping the gun too. I was too excited. I was too excited. So so majority gonna be in April. All right, April, mid-April. I don't know what the hell I was looking at. Yeah, they said a big May right in front of me, and I just look. Don't judge me. What about Microsoft? Microsoft, April. Yep, look like they all lined up for April. Yep, all April. Mid-April. What else I'm missing? Any other? Amazon. Amazon. Oh shoot, the hell? Spelled that all type wrong. Hold up. Amazon. April 30th. Yep, so they're all gonna be in April. Anything else I'm missing on anyone? AMD. May. I feel like I'm missing. Well, I feel like I'm missing a blue chip. We did Apple. Did I miss one? Or did I get them all? I got my list up here. Now we did AMD, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, Apple. Now we went over all of them. So they all, so pretty much mid-April then. Mid-April, all mid-April. All right. I ain't gonna lie, man. I jumped to go to that one. I was excited. I don't know why the hell I saw it. My mind saw March. It says a big May. My bad, guys. my bad. So no major earnings as far as blue chips go. So I was just trying to figure out if we was gonna have any other hype coming around that. So I guess not. Let me see something else. I'm trying to figure what else is gonna be tied around the FOMC meeting. Let me see what else I can look at too. Next week's economic data too. What else we gonna have? One thing that came up for next week is gonna be PPI data, interest rates. Of course, FOMC meeting. Philadelphia Fed manufacturing index, new home sales. So really, okay. So it's nothing really major that's gonna be tied around it. All right. I tried, Lucky. I was trying to see if we had anything tied around the FOMC meeting for the 18th, but nothing. Cause all the earnings ain't coming out till mid-April. So mid-April, and I think Nvidia and them was gonna be like May. So nothing major. So we'll just see how it's gonna play out. How this week is gonna play out going into next week. Cause I wonder if this week coming up is gonna be the setup. Like if they're gonna do a further, yeah. So I wonder. So when I'm trying to figure out going into this week here, Monday through Friday, I wonder if they're gonna try to like pull down as low as they can before the FOMC meeting come out. Let me take a look at that weekly time frame. So I wonder if they're gonna pull down towards the 60s, especially if the 70s can't hold. I wonder if they're gonna pull down and go for like a strong push, like the following week. Get this bad boy like I ain't gonna say like oversold, like half, because we already got what two candles already that already formed, and if this one is gonna be like the last third candle down, and then start to, we'll see. So in other words, guys, what I'm trying to say is I wonder if more downside is coming. Is what I'm saying. Underneath the 670s, down into the the mid 60s. So I'm just trying to figure that out. Because, I mean, like I said, the next area underneath that 670s, guys, 670s, is, like I said, the other area we had that strong push bounce was right around 650s. And the secondary one from that before the 650s was the 664.50s itself right here. So this area possibly could be a little liquidity grab where buyers could try to utilize, but we'll keep that on watch to see if that's going to be like some type of liquidity grab, because you can see when you was on top of it, it was support. You can clearly see that was on top of the 670s. So every time you came around 670s, you bounce, 670s bounce, 670 bounce. So as we fall underneath the 670s, I'm just trying to figure out, because see, buyers came down towards the 664.50s, then back on top of the 670s. Because I want to see if the buyer's going to try to utilize this, or, because I got to speak about it in both standpoints. It could go both ways. I mean, and I'll draw it out on what I mean. Let's just say buyers have it first. We'll put buyers in. We'll put them in play first. All right. So if buyers, let's just say buyers would have hold 664.50. That means they'll have to get that push back up to above 670s up towards there. You already know where that strong resistance is, 676. We already know where that's going to be at for that pushback to the upside. That's on the long end. If it's negative, if it's bearish still, that means that we may get a bounce around this area, then right into some type of maybe bullish trap between 666 to 670s for a pullback down that way. So it's gonna have some type of liquidity build. That's what I'm trying to figure out. You know, we're gonna continue down, or will buyers try to save the play and move that way back up? But the way this is looking, I mean, it looked like more downside is coming, guys. I was trying to be positive, but it just looked like more downside may come, especially underneath that 670. So question is, will we gap down? Could we be introduced to a gap down Monday? I mean, they may do it even before Monday, because normally you'll see some type of volatility like today. They'll normally like do some type of crazy volatile move. Surprised they ain't do it yet, because normally I used to see that like around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they'll wind up moving it. Because these bad boys will start moving like around, I mean, like, I'm talking about today. You'll normally see like around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you'll see a little bit of like volatility moving. But nothing yet though, nothing yet, guys. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled. Like I said, that 670 is going to be crucial. Buyers need to hold it, because again, they lose that 670s, you're going down into the 660s. That means it's going to have a bearish setup going into next week. Continuation. With this bad boy already from what did we all started from? Thursdays into Fridays. Well, Monday could continue it, because you already underneath 676, and it could lead to even more downside. So we'll see, guys. We'll see, because it just don't look bullish right now. Not yet. Still looks a little weak. You're underneath the 200-day moving average, so it's just not pointing. It's just not looking bullish. Still look weak as shit. That's why I'm trying to figure out what are their game plans, because I know they're not gonna like let it drop all the way down. Like they're setting up for something. Unless Lucky and Aussie, unless they're trying to get that 200-day to move down low enough where they can cross it. And I'm gonna show you guys, for example, what I mean. It's almost like this. See how that 200-day moving average came down? They finally got it low enough to where they were able to cross above it, go from resistance now into support. So you see how when you got on top of that 200-day moving average, they utilized for support. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, I wonder how further they're gonna try to pull that 200 before they can find that room to try to, you know, create a crossover. See, look right here on the 5, guys. Look right here. See how it's still pulling down? So it's like they're trying to get it low enough to where they can create some type of crossover above it. Because you got to keep in mind, guys, underneath the 200-day moving average is bearish. Above the 200-day moving average. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. I didn't know. Man, I wasn't even paying. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I did not know that thing was still on. Oh, my God, Lucky. I'm so sorry. Because I'm looking this is what I see on my end. Like I'm not looking at what's on the OBS end, man. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, this whole time I was talking. Oh my God. I feel so stupid, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not know that things were still on. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna show you. Goddamn, I can't show you what I'm looking at on my end, so y'all can see that I'm not going crazy. How can I show y'all what I'm seeing on okay? No. See, look. See, Lucky, like this. Okay, this is what I see on my end, like this. Now, this is what you guys see on your end. You'll see the little chat box, all of that, right? On my end, all I see is the chart. Without the chat box and all that. So that's why because I barely look at OBS screen, and I'm so sorry. That's why I was talking and I was looking at my screen and not y'all's. I do apologize. I apologize, guys. I feel like an ass for that one. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me restart. I was not paying attention. Okay. Lucky, thank you so much for showing me, boss. I do apologize. I'm so sorry. So sorry. All right, guys. So, as I was talking about the 200-day moving average. So, I was saying is I wonder if their goal is to, pull that 200-day level as low as they can before trying to attempt a crossover through it. Let me go to example right here. And this is what I was showing y'all before I realized the damn OBS, the little thing didn't go, the little clip was still up. Sorry about that. So yeah, right here for example, guys. So you see how that 200-day moving average came down? Right here? And then the buyers were able to cross it and then go from the bearish side of this bad boy now to the bullish side of it, where we created an indicator crossover. So if you notice, and right here for example, they pulled it down. Let me go back a little bit more. See how that 200-day came down? Because you notice how it acted as a strong resistance because they were unable to stay above it. Every time we run to the 200, reject it, 200, reject it, until we finally got that crossover back up to the upside. So, and that was in the past. So basically the present, you notice guys, we're underneath it. We're underneath that 200-day moving average. So that means it's bearish. So every time we run to that 200-day moving average, it's going to act as a resistance, normal resistance, until we can get a strong bullish push where we can get a nice crossover, turn that 200-day into support, and wind up flipping it. And like I said, you can see right here, guys, for example, when you were underneath it, then you wind up getting that nice break above it. You want underneath it, then you wind up getting that nice break above it. Flipping it from resistance now to support. So that's why I'm trying to figure out going into tomorrow, how much more do they need to pull this 200-day moving average before we go for a possible and successful crossover to the upside. So I'm trying to figure this out. And this is what I was trying to show y'all on the other chart, man. I mean, before I realized that damn thing was still up. I'm so sorry. All right. But yeah. But notice this area, guys. Every time it came down to 670, bounce. 670, bounce. 670, bounce. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if those buyers are going to create a liquidity grab in between 670 and 664. So y'all didn't see when I drew all that stuff out. Damn, and I didn't realize that. God dang, I feel stupid now. And I didn't, again, my bad, guys. My fault. I feel like a straight ass right now. All right, now I'll redraw it. Okay, that was on me. All right, long side, short side version. If buyers can maintain 670, then we want to see that nice push back up, retest that 676 for that nice reversal back to the upside towards, to the 680s. That's on the long side. But we already know on how powerful that 676 is going to be. So what I'm trying to figure out, if we were to crack down here, can the buyer stay within this little zone here and then try to go for the pushback on up? That's what I'm trying to figure out as we go into next week. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And then from a short standpoint, again, you already know you're going to have 670 because 670 is going to turn into resistance, followed by 676. And that can be some type of another trap where this bad boy can pull back down that away and continue the downtrend setup. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. How is this week going to set up before the FOMC meeting comes out? So I wonder if they're going to continue to pull down as low as they can before the FOMC meeting comes out. And the reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because, I mean, look at the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame indicates, I mean, look at this. I mean, the prior week was a red week. This week was a red week. And we'd already lost this floor already. You already closed underneath what it was, 670, yeah, the 676s, 676-ish level. You're already underneath it. You're already pointing down. You done lost the 13 EMA, where you do have room to fall from that indicator down to this indicator. I mean, even if I take everything off, you can still see it. Like if I clear everything off right now, look. So notice we're no longer on top of the 13 EMA, guys. We're underneath it, right? We have nothing to hold us up but natural levels themselves. So that means that now being underneath the 13 EMA, now they can utilize that to possibly go for an indicator gap fill down toward the downside of the 50 SMA, where you'll go from the green indicator, which is the 13 EMA, down towards the 50 SMA, which is going to be around the 640s. Where this bad boy can slowly start to topple that way. 650, 660s, 650s down towards that 640s, where you will go from one indicator to the next. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I mean, you are starting to slowly curl on down. And again, we already finished out red this week. So the question is, going into the new week coming, could we get a continuation sell off back that way? Could we see a third possible red candle next week? Well, we'll get more further pullback down that way. So in other words, guys, what I'm saying is we may have to gear up possibly for more downsides to come. I mean, it just looks bearish still. So all I'm saying, just be prepared for it. So I can take, let me see what I can do. Let me put everything back real quick. So I'm trying to figure out how we're going to set ourselves up going into next week. So I'm going to try to set us up the proper way. Let's see what I can do. I mean, like I said, right now, we still have a range. Friday's range going into Monday. So we still got these tops, 676, and we still have these bottoms right around the 670s. Because we have yet to break out, and we have yet to crack. Lucky, what you think, boss? I mean, you think we're going to crack that 670s and go down into the 660s? Like, where we can continue on down? I mean, it looked like it. I mean, it looked like we want to just continue, like, towards the downsides of the 670s. I mean, 660s, where we look like we could pull back down, towards the low 660s. I mean, we could. I mean, it all depends on how, tomorrow's going to set up, like, pre-market. Especially, again, if buyers cannot hold 670. Because longs, what needs to happen going into pre-market, or what we want to see in pre-market, we want to at least see this area hold first to give it some type of fighting chance. Just stay within his range, hold his floor to let for the buyers to let the sellers know that they can't take it out. But the sellers are still holding down 676, so we already know that level that's protected already. We don't want to lose this floor. We wind up losing the 674 floors, guys. You're going right into the 660s. That means more continuation downside is gonna occur. Because that means that if we fall back underneath that 670, 669.66, support going into tomorrow is now going to turn into possible resistance. Because you don't have to, because right now, again, you already know 676 is going to be resistance. But if we fall underneath this level here, that's going to be another secondary resistance. So that means that more floors and more value we are losing day by day. Because that means you crack underneath 670s, now you got to find a bouncing point between these price points this way. And the lowest one that I see is 664.50. So that bad boy falls this way. I do see a possible area. And again, guys, that's based off the 1 hour time frame. Like I said, you take this bottom green line and go this way real quick. Go back. I mean, you can kind of see, like I said, right here, if I maximize it, you can kind of see how that area acted as support and resistance. See that? Right here. When you were underneath it, resistance. When you were above it, support. So now you can see on how that 64.50 can act as, well, not above it, it can still act as support. Where we could fall down this way and then bounce back up that way. Because you got to keep in mind, if we crack that, it's no longer support. Because you got to think about it. What does the market does? It rotates. So we come down towards this level and rotate back up. That means that sellers are going to either try to utilize that price point, now that we'll be underneath it, and 676. So, game plan going into tomorrow. I would say, if I was long buyers, if we crack 670s, I will be anticipating these bottoms this way, towards that, that 65, 64.50, to see if buyers can hold for a nice reversal back up that way. Excuse me, because like I told you, from 670s down to the 664s, guys, that's $6 regardless. That's a $6 pull, and if those buyers hold in reverse, that'll be a $6 push. So you'll still be banking regardless. You'll still be making good profits, is what I'm saying. Because I want to see tomorrow, if a gap down is going to occur. where we'll come, fall underneath 670s and fall back like this way. Because that's what it looked like it want. I mean, what you think, Lucky? I mean, that's what it looked like it want to do. It looked like it want to open up, start tomorrow with a gap down. Like either at or underneath that 670. Back into like this little range here. Because that means if we do gap down and we bounce back up, we know that this area, 670, is going to be resistance, as we go up. I mean, it's still going to be a money-making opportunity on the scalp side. If those buyers hold it, we reverse up, you still make money on it. And you can still make money down. So that means if a bull trap occurs, once they do rotate back up, I mean, it could be a put opportunity for a reversal right back down to the downside. It's a possibility. We'll see. I'm going to definitely watch it from both ends. So what I'm going to be watching tomorrow, guys, I'm going to watch to see can buyers, like I said, especially crack underneath 670. I'm going to watch this area first. I'm going to watch this level first. Because either buyers are going to hold or will we gap below 670. Again, if we crack below 670s, I have to look at the next lower level. I have to, because that floor is no longer holding. Now that level is going to be a psychological resistance because you're underneath it. So if we gap down, then I can play that bad boy down to around that 664 to see if they're going to hold. And if that 664.50 holds, then I'll be looking for a long opportunity back up towards that 670. That'll be my game plan, So I will be watching this level, and I will be watching this level. So I'll be watching both. We'll see Monday morning pre-market where it will take place. If up, high will drop at the So I mean, and that's what I'm saying. This is my 1 hour time frame right now, look. So what I'm thinking is the way it's setting up right now, what me and you see right now, and I'll maximize a little bit so you can see it. I mean, it looks like it. I mean, it looked like it wants to, start off with a gap down. That's what it looked like. It looked like it wants to, the next candle coming in, it looked like it wants to gap down towards that 670 that way. So that's why I'm going to just watch to see if buyers going to maintain or hold it. If they're going to, stall those sellers out and push back on top of that level. But if those sellers outweigh the buyers, the next level I will be anticipating is going to be around that 664.50-ish. Back down this way to see if buyers going to, because like I said, if you go back a little bit, guys, look right here. Look where those buyers came in at. 65, because you see that secondary lower high right here. You had 64.50. And then you had 65. So like right in these two areas as we pull back down. So that's why I want to see if they're going to utilize 64.50 to try to attempt to push back up before fall any lower. So I want to see if that's going to be that safety net to start off with this week. So yeah, between here and here to watch this range. To watch the range. Now, if the range successfully holds, play the range, guys. Play the range. If these bottoms hold, for example, call opportunity. If the puts hold, look for a short opportunity. So, you can just play within a range until we either break out or crack to even, to a different level. But I'm going to keep everything on watch. Like I said, I agree with Lucky. I'm going to watch. I'm going to just wait for everything to set itself up. See on how pre-market is going to present itself. Whether we're going to stay above that 670 and maneuver our way back on up, or whether we're going to get below 670s into the 660s. So that's what I'm going to do for tomorrow. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled, guys, to see where we go. To see on how we're going to be welcomed into pre-market. Whether we're going to hold above 670 or we're going to be gapping down underneath it. So I'm going to definitely keep my eyes peeled on that. But, guys, anything else, I'm going to soon be heading on out, man. Like I said, I just want to go over a few brief things with you guys. We didn't went over... But we did talk about... Did we talk about Tesla? I know we talked about NVIDIA. Did we talk about Tesla? Let me double check just to make sure. Because I know Lucky and them be going over Tesla as well. Like you said, we will play. Yeah, we'll play exactly, boss. Because we know how to train out. We know how to train ourselves. We know how to play both sides of the fence. We know when to attack. We know how to play. We know how to go long. We know how to go short. We know how to do this. All right, for my Tesla traders, you do have an inverted cup, guys. You do have an inverted cup. If you are short bias, let's get that crack right underneath. Is that 395? Yeah, look for that crack underneath 395 down to the 392.50s. Because again, the goal is to go back to these bottoms, all the way back down to these bottoms, almost close to that 385. Because that's the goal, guys. Because if you want to complete the cup, and if you are short bias, you definitely want to get that continuation sell off this way. However, if bias so happens to manage to hold above 395, do expect for them to push their way back up towards 397.50, up towards 400. So definitely keep that on watch. But I look like we may see more downside coming, where we could fall all the way back down to where we started at these bottoms, back this way, as low as 387.50s down to 385s. So kind of like in this little section here, where we can fall back down to, where we'll go from buyers to sellers, closing out that cup that way. So shorts, this is what you want to see. I'll draw it out. So right here where you started, you want to close out that cup back down that way. You want to come back down to these bottoms. That'll put you down between 87.50 down to 85s, where you will close out that cup. For the long side, you want to hold or maintain above that 395. Hold above 395, reverse your way back on up. You want to break above 397.50, back up towards 400. That's what you want to see. You want us to hold that level for that reversal back up. But we'll keep on watching. Like I said, we'll watch everything. Because you just got to have that training and that thought. Because one thing you got to realize, guys, because like I said, Lucky them got it down pat. Shout out to my G's, to my GOATs. But for those who don't, who are like one-sided, learn how to play both sides. Just learn how to play both sides. And knowing, because again, all the market does is rotate. It rotates to a psychological level up, and it rotates to a psychological level down. That's it. I mean, think about it. Look right here, for example. You came down where? Towards 80, almost 87.50, bounce, 87.50, 387.50, bounce, 387.50, bounce, 387.50. So think about how many times the smart traders waited for that same exact area that held where they rinsed and repeat. Rinsed and repeat, rinsed and repeat. But you notice that same area played over and over and over again. All they did was wait for the opportunity. They got into that same exact area and basically played it on the long side. They waited for that opportunity to wait for that recovery, 87.50, played it on the long side. They waited for that pullback opportunity, played it on the long. I mean, all they did was play that same exact area over and over and over and over again. I mean, that's just like right here, for example. That was 450, right? You did stay above it momentarily. Then you wind up falling back underneath where? 450 down towards the 400. So you caught a $4 drop. Then you got back on up above 450, but then you wind up cracking 450, where you could have had that opportunity to play it right back on down. So all you do is pay close attention to psychological levels that repeat themselves over and over and over and over and over again. Think about it. On SPY, Friday, Friday, Thursday, or Wednesday, one of them two. Remember how I kept calling out those areas that we could pull down to? And I said, look for the transition. And what happened? We wound up transitioning at those same exact areas, right? All I did was just take the pass. All I did was take the pass to understand those psychological levels. That's it. I'm not a magician. All I'm doing is looking at what the market is telling me already. That already happened. It's psychological levels that replay itself over and over and over and over again. If I'm lying, guys, think about it. 676, call. 676, call. 676, call. That's when you was on top of that price point. I mean, think about it. It's the same area that played itself over and over. 676, call. I mean, think about it. As long as you stay above that price point, you play the upside to it. Now being underneath it, now what you think they're going to do now? Play the downside because it's no longer support, now resistance. Why you think Friday, guys? I kept telling you, after I got off my live, no matter what price point or what it's doing, never take your eyes off of what price point. 676, 676. I kept saying that over and over and over and over and over again. And because look what happened at the end of the market. You finally got where? You finally got a rejection, 676, and there go your yank back down towards 670. Roughly a $6 drop. Yes, it took forever today. Yes, we were in the range, but towards the end of the market, you wind up and finally got that pullback from 676 because you never got the breakout. It was breakout failure. It was nothing but a bull trap, and you wind up getting that yank back on down. 676, 676, 676. I kept nailing that in y'all heads over and over and over and over again. Y'all notice me. I never change the price point. I always talk about a specific price point. Remember before the 676, what was the other one? 686. Remember? 686. Pull back. 686. Right here, for example. 686. Before the drops. Remember I kept telling y'all. 686. 686. I kept saying it over and over and over. And remember, now I went all the way back to show you guys on how powerful that price point was. Then we went back a little bit. Did I push my... Where was that? Oh, that's the 1 hour. No wonder why I can't see it. I'm going to go to a 5 minute. My bad, guys. My fault. What was it at? 686. I mean, look at this. 680. Oh, the 688. What was that? 686. Let me go back to 686. Where we kept talking about that over and over and over and over and over again until y'all got sick of it. 686. See? 686. See what I mean? How that level just played over and over and over? 686. Do we do it again? I mean, guys, it's just repetitive errors. Why do you think my lines be in the right areas? And I'm always calling them. I'm always alerting you guys. I told you, 676, alone, if we couldn't hold on top of it, that bad boy could go from a strong support to strong resistance. And didn't it do that Friday? Resistance, resistance, resistance. All this choppiness, it still led to that same price point that couldn't crack. No matter what it did. Even on a 5-minute time frame, guys. Look, pay close attention. Chop, 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 chop. But look, that same level held. 676, 676, 676, 676, 676, and then you finally got a what? Pullback. But that level still held, regardless throughout all the chop. 676, pull back. 676, pull back. 676, pull back. 676. Guys, all you gotta do is repeat that same exact price point over and over and over until it was no longer needed. That's it. So now that we underneath 676, now what is our setup now? We still under that range because we still, again, you got to keep these price points in mind going into tomorrow, guys. 676 still going to be top because we still haven't broken above it. 670 going to still have a bottom because we have yet to crack it. So all we try to figure out now, going from Friday to Monday, how are we going to come out of this range? Could we gap up? Could we gap down? Or will that 670 hold for a possible reversal back where? 676. So do not forget that range going into tomorrow. As long as that range holds, you play the range until we break or we crack. So take this setup here into tomorrow. Point blank. Right there. 676, 670 until, because you already know that market's going to find its way out of it. It just depends on which way are we coming out of it. Are we going to come down? You basically rotate out of the range downward, or could buy step in and we rotate our way out of it. We'll just see. But we know what the strongest resistance is. I don't care what the market does. I don't care if it flip-flop, somersault, cartwheel. If it stays around 676, keep your eyes glued to 676. As long as it's underneath, resistance, 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 resistance until that bad boy breaks. Guys, that's about the easiest way to play the psychology behind it. How to make your trades easy. You break above 676, now it's no longer resistance. Now it's support. Now you play 76 to the upside, right? You're underneath it. Oh, it's resistance. We ain't gonna break 76. Okay, let me play 676 to the downside. You playing at one price point, but you're just playing around it. Think about it. Bottoms, 670s. Up, 676. 676 tops, back down, 672.50. Back up, 676. Back down, 672.50. Back up, 676. Back down, 672.50. Back up, 676. Back down, 672.50. And then, I mean, guys, look, all it did was stay in the same exact thing. Friday, and I know Friday was a pain in the, you know what? I mean, due to all the choppiness, I mean, the sideways, I know, but the main thing that stood still and you know, that basically stood the test of time was what? 676. No matter what it did, no matter if you started right here, no matter if you started the midway, that area or that top remained the same regardless. 676, 676, 670. Guys, you got to pay attention to those psychological levels. All you do is take these levels and go over to the next day. Because whatever problem that you had with those particular price points on that day is going to be the next day problem. That's just like going into Monday. We couldn't break above 676 Friday. That's going to be now Monday's problem, right? That's going to be Monday's problem. If you're short bias, we can't crack 670. That's going to be Monday's problem. You just take the psychological price points and move it over until we no longer need it, until you get away from it, whether it's on the downside or the upside. Again, but if we break above 676, now we have to turn that back into what? Support. Pull back bounces, pull back bounces, pull back bounces. Now we have to focus on the higher price points above 676, 678s, 680s. As that bad boy keep pushing, because we know where the psychological levels are to the top. We know where that strongest resistance is to the top. What's what? What's the strongest? What's the area? I just talked about it. If we was to get a push from the 676, where you think they going? Lucky, you know this. What's that next strongest resistance? I just talked about it. If we get a break above 676 and go on a, let's just say we was going on a monster run. We was going on a monster push. What's that next pivot point? Or what's that next area that they're aiming for? If we was to get a break above 676 on up into the 680s, where do you think they're going? Where do you think we pulling up to like a magnet? What was our issue Friday? Those 2 Fridays in a row. Friday the 13th, Friday the 27th. That same exact price point to the top. Y'all don't know? I'll tell y'all. 686. Bam! What? Get out my head. He said it at the same time with me. See that? Great minds thinking like, bam! Exactly. He said it right when I said it. But you see that? But also, you see the psychology? His way of thinking is my way of thinking because he understands the psychology. He understands those levels where buyers want to go and where sellers want to go. But you think about it. We're different traders. We may trade different, but we have somewhat of the same mindset. Think about it. I didn't even have to say anything. He typed it. You see what I mean? And once you get those numbers locked in, then you understand the rotation. Then you start to slowly understand the rotation. Because as you're going up, you already know before we get to 686, we got to get back above what? 680, which is going to be a natural number. Every whole number is natural support and natural resistance. It don't matter whether it's 650, 670, 680s, 690s. Once you get above, and once you cross those brackets, okay, now you can enter into the increments, right? You get back above 680s. We know how SPY likes to normally move. It moves by $2 increments, right? You get above 680s. Now you're here. Now we're moving up. 682s, 684s. What was that to resistance? 686. You wind up getting that break above 686, pushing up to 688. $2 away from where? 700. See, but once you get the psychology and the wheels start to run in your head, you get confident. You start to get excited because now you're knowing how to play the range. Basically, you know how to put your strike, you know how to tie your strike prices into it. No, exactly. No, I agree 100 with you, 110%. Exactly. You take the meat in the move, and Lucky is 110% right. So, in other words, because I know a lot of you traders do it, because I know I'm not gonna say her name, but there's a lot of traders. What they do is get greedy. So instead of taking the meat of the move, you don't have to wait for it to get all the way to that number exact to be like, oh, I'm gonna sell it. You don't know if you may hit it, you may not. Jay, why we may not hit it? Guys, you gotta think about it. Because there are gonna be sellers even below that actual targeted price gearing up to get ready where you're gonna start to see some weakness. So if you in it, put it like this. If you got a good entry, right? Let's just say you got in at, let's just say 670. Let's just say for the sake of the argument, you got in at 670 on a call. And your goal, oh man, I think we're gonna push up to 676. Are you gonna really wait up to 676? Or are you gonna take a meter to move before it hits 676? Because think about it. If you in at 670, right? You go up to 671, you're already up $1. 672, you're already up 2. 673, you're already up 3. 674, you're already up. Y'all get what I'm saying. And it depends on how many shares or how many contracts you have. Take the meter to move. You don't have to wait all the way till it hits 676. You know, you could take the meter move before it even hits it. I mean, if you feel comfortable with 675, take 675 or whatever the case may be. But man, from 670s, and again, once you start to hit the dollar areas, I mean, you clear selling. Don't let greed get the better of you. Don't hold the damn bag, and then once it reverses on you, now you complain about it. Now you with the woulda, shoulda, coulda. Oh, I shoulda got out. I shoulda got out ahead of time. Oh, I should. Now you're frustrated. Now you want to revenge trade. Now you're making it worse for yourself because you want to get back the loss or whatever the case. Have a smart entry. Have a smart exit. That's it. It's about as easy as you can put it. You go hard when the market is easy. You go easy when the market is hard. That's it. Easy, easy, easy. Have a game plan. So far, I'm trying to help you guys out going into tomorrow. Right here, you have a $6 channel. So far, because we're still holding at this time. You have 670, you have 676. Play the range until it's no longer needed. You see an opportunity, wait for those buys, wait for confirmation, and then go from there. Take your time to see which way we're going to come out of this range. Just be patient. Because I know yesterday was it was a headache. Not yesterday, but Friday. I knew Friday was the headache. That choppy. Like I said, I had the right idea. It was just so choppy, I got aggravated. I was like, you know what? But the minute I closed down my live, I got out. I knew it was coming. I was waiting on it. I said, I have a feeling they're going to wait towards the end of the damn market. As they get closer and closer towards power hour, then they're going to pull it. And lo and behold, what did they do? They pulled it. They pulled it. So, I mean, the fact is, I understood the ranges. It just, especially like I said, Fridays be very careful. Fridays just be very, very careful. Now, don't get me wrong. You may have some good days on Fridays, like especially non-farm payroll Fridays. I mean, that's why I go over the economics that leads for SPY having those good movements. Like I said, non-farm payroll. What else? I'm talking about when it comes down to Fridays. It all depends, but I'm just being honest. The best times to trade on Fridays is at the beginning of the market. That's when it's most volatile. But after that, like I told you guys Friday, after lunch hours or after 11 o'clock, guys, I told you that volatility was going to start to die down because you got to think about people that already made money. They're shutting their computers off. They're going to enjoy their weekend. If you're stuck in a trade and haven't got out, you got to wait for volatility to step back in. So you sitting there at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then as you're still waiting, time decay is kicking in. Your contract's becoming worthless. It's like, that's why I tell you on Fridays, guys, chill the hell out. Make your trades as early as possible at the beginning. After that, shut it off. Shut it off. If you already made money Monday through Thursday, because you really complain? Like, was Friday really that necessary and really that serious? But other than that, guys, yep, I will be sitting, like I said, I will be getting everything set up going into tomorrow to see what the market has to offer us, to see on how we're going to come out of this range, especially on SPY tomorrow. Right now, as I told you guys, tops 676, bottoms right around 670s, and we'll see where we go from here. Again, if we crack 670s, I will be looking for more downside towards that 664-ish area. I will be looking for more downside. And if those buys can hold around 664.50, I will be looking for the possible reversal back up to the upside. But other than that, guys, if y'all don't have any more questions, comments, or concern, man, I do thank you guys for joining me. And again, I'm gonna get as much more research as possible, so I can get everything set up for tomorrow. But let me give everybody love, man, who did come through, man. I thank y'all so much for coming through too, guys. W team as always, man. Shout out to all my wonderful mods as always as possible, man. Thank y'all for always rocking and rolling with me. Thank y'all for the love and support. If you are new to my channel, man, please do your boy a favor. Y'all already know what to do. If I have earned your support, your respect, your love, man, do your boy a favor by smashing that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, you already know what else to do besides that. Hit the likes, get them thumbs up. For my Twitch and for my Kick, you can follow or subscribe to avoid the ads. Kick will be back up and running soon. I just been doing slow test runs with Twitch and YouTube just to make sure the bit rates stay where they need to. So that's why. But so far so good with Twitch and YouTube. It's running pretty decent. So I'm gonna try to add a third, which is gonna be Kick, and if everything runs good, we'll just keep it rocking and rolling. But other than that, man, guys, I do thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all for joining me. Hope everybody have a blessed night. I will be seeing everybody tomorrow for Money Monday. Like I said, we don't have any major news, major economic data Monday. We will be kicking off Tuesday with existing home sales, and Wednesday should be the CPI data. So we should seeing some volatility around that time. Other than that, guys, let's get ready to rock and roll. Hope everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy y'all nights. Go Netflix and chill. If you are going to drink, just make sure you drink safe. You're at home, in the comfort of your home, or around responsible people and whatnot. But Lucky, thank you so much for coming through too, boss. Aussie, thank you so much for coming through as well, Queen. Thank y'all again. Thank y'all. As I always told y'all, is no JTraedz without y'all guys, man. Love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me, and we're gonna keep rocking it till the wheels fall off, man. Y'all already know what time it is. But let's get geared up for tomorrow, guys. And you already know what I'm about to say before I head on out. You already know what time it is. Maximize your reward. Minimize your risk. Always put grateful over greed, and you will succeed every single time. Till then, guys, I will see y'all for Money Monday. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Love y'all. Peace.
Subscribe for more content.